Deja vu.
What did you just say?
Nothing, just had a little deja vu.
What did you see?
What happened?
A black cat went past us, and then another that looked just like it.
How much like it? Was it the same cat?
Might have been, I'm not sure. What is it?
A deja vu is usually a glitch in the Matrix.
Just sit back and enjoy this one. This was a fun one to make.
Today we are attempting to answer the #1 question that I get asked, and that is, what is the best barrel length?
Today we're going to be talking about a very important question. What question is that?
Does size matter as far as barrel length?
My goodness, what an idea. Why didn't I think of that?
Coming into the test, we know there's a lot of variables that go into barrel performance. You have rifling, you have finishes, you have the barrel profile, you have gas port sizes. All these different attributes or aspects of barrels affect how a barrel will perform.
There's a lot that goes into choosing the correct barrel length. Anything from the velocity of the slug to the environment that you're in. We're hoping to hit a lot of those things today.
There's also a lot of myths.
There's a lot of myths.
Is one more accurate than other? There's just everything that goes into it.
So we're going to try to test as many of these as we can out to try to give you some good data to help you choose the best barrel length. Now,
so to eliminate as many of those variables as possible, we stuck with one brand of barrels, and that was Noveske.
Today we are using Noveske rifles.
And what this ultimately let us do was that it kept the rifling the same, it kept the barrel finishes the same, it kept the barrel profiles the same, and it kept the theory of gas port sizes the same, because some companies have different theories or ideas in regards to gas port sizes than others. And that can be debated in a whole nother video, but for the sake of this test, we wanted them all from the same brand so that it was consistent across the board.
Fully built up, and why are we doing that, Micah?
Because their barrels are excellent.
They're extremely consistent.
Consistent.
Super consistent.
And what's even better is that all the barrels that we have on these rifles right here are all from the same batch.
All 4 of these guns also were all built directly by Noveske. None of these are, we didn't take a barrel from this gun or that gun and put it together ourselves. These are all come from the factory, so it's all within their QC spec. They all use the same triggers, and they all use the same optics and mounts throughout the testing.
So from going from the different barrel lengths to the longer barrel lengths, we have about the best consistency we can get. We have no difference in brand between all those. Point is, we've tried to remove as many variables as possible. These are all built up in the factory at Noveske.
Doesn't anyone notice this? I feel like I'm taking crazy pills.
But as you look at the actual velocity numbers, you will see what those velocity averages were. Those are 5-shot groups. And then the little number in the parentheses to the side is how big the spread is. And so that has more to do with the consistency of the ammo than necessarily the barrel, but felt that it should be included for you guys if you're, just for your sake and your knowledge.
And our average was 26.33. The average was 27.50. Average was 28.02. Average of 28.53. Average of 29.19. And average 29.86.
Hey, I've seen this one. This is a classic.
And using all 4 barrel lengths, we also use 3 different types of ammo. So we use 55 grain PMC X-Tac. We use some 62 grain tactical bonded from Federal, and that's actually a duty round from a local law enforcement. And the reason we use that is because we wanted to throw in some sort of a duty round that was also a mid-grain. And then we threw in some IMI hollow point boat tail match, some 77 grain, to try to achieve the best accuracy we could, more of like a high performance long range ammo, just to show not only how do the barrels perform across the board as far as in relation to one another, but how do these different barrels perform with different ammos? Because what we know is that certain barrels and certain barrel lengths like different types of ammo.
Yeah. So the question is, why does velocity matter? Well, it depends on the round. 5.56, in a lot of cases, does rely on velocity, especially when you go to the 55 grain. Most people that I know are shooting 55 grain.
Yes.
Now, there are better rounds.
Yes.
Like
Well, yeah, it's cheaper.
Yeah, 77 grains, your 69ers, all those are awesome, and they will do amazing things even at low speeds. But if you're using 55, you need velocity.
It's the same video.
Velocity is sort of linear, right? So you get this linear progression of velocity as you go up in barrel length. But that's not necessarily the case. We see more of an arc here, so that as the barrel gets shorter, that drop off in velocity gets steeper.
The biggest FPS gain is between that 10.3 and the 11.5 with 117 FPS between the two.
They haven't seen this yet, but that is psychotically higher than all the other barrel lengths.
So we take the muzzle velocity that we got from our lab radars, I input that into the Ballistic AE app to give us an estimated bullet drop in inches across the board out to 1,000 yards.
Now, we could obviously just show you on a ballistic app what the drop is going to look like at different distances, but we thought it'd be way cooler to actually shoot it out to 300 and show you what those drops are actually going to look like when each of these rifles has a 100-yard zero.
I'm gonna ask you to stop talking. I thought it was a pretty good idea. Do the same thing as last time. Everyone's happy.
Consistently, the 10-inch was fastest, and then the 12.5 was second fastest, then going into the 14.5, but then the 16-inch got really fast. The longer gun, you have to be more intentional about every movement of that gun and of the muzzle and where it's going so that you can get to your target quicker or sooner. And I think that's what we're seeing here, is that because there was that vast difference between the 10-inch and the 16-inch, the 16-inch forced us to be more intentional about our movement versus the 14-inch and the 12.5.
That a lot of people get pretty, what's the word for it, like upset about barrel lengths, where they're like, oh, 16 is completely unmaneuverable. I mean, Marines maneuvered in Fallujah with a 20, so a 16 is not bad. You're gonna do fine with it.
Thank you guys for following along.
Part 2 you guys want to see from this? Leave it in the comments below. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe. Karate chop that bell.
Also get notified karate chop that bell so you get notified every time I upload a video.
And I will see you guys in the next one. But seriously, let me know what you guys think of this content. If you guys want to see some original content, next week I'm going to be doing a top 5 guns with your favorite gun tubers. Wait a minute.
Welcome to Top 5 Guns. It's an exciting new series that we're doing where we chat with people from the gun community about the 5 guns they would take from their collection.
A new trend on the channel where I go to all my friends' collections and I grab my top 5 favorite firearms that they happen to own. And